Hey y'all, what is up? What is good? How are y'all doing? Today, BlackGhostFace is here on Christmas Eve. Today is today Tuesday. Today Tuesday. Christmas Eve, y'all. How y'all doing today on Christmas Eve, folks? Tomorrow's Christmas, so I'm sure y'all are excited. I'm sure y'all cannot wait. But hey, gonna be jumping into some scary and disturbing videos. But I would say stay tuned for tomorrow, y'all. All right. Now I'll be like this. I'll be like this. If I ask y'all, what do y'all have? You know, like Netflix, Hulu, or something like that. What do y'all have? Because tomorrow, for Ed and Eddie, I am going to be streaming that on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, then I'm sure you got something to look forward to, like for real, something to look forward to. But if not, then I'll say you can either wait for me to put the show out on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what is going on? Look, hope you're doing good. Poeska, Merry Christmas, which Merry Christmas is, kind of tomorrow, but hey, it's still Christmas though. This is Christmas week. So even if it's Monday, even if it's Friday, it's still Christmas because it's Christmas week. All right? This is a week to where we get festive, holly and jolly. You know what I'm saying? So like, hey, for those of y'all that have Hulu, y'all about to see a Christmas present tomorrow. But we're going to be jumping into some disturbing, scary videos. I mean, why not? Why not? I'm still going to be doing reactions. But before I begin, I just want to let y'all know this real quick. I'm going to have to do shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And movies on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Because if I stream the shows, then I probably wouldn't have time to like download them and put them up. I'll probably be backed up on my work. So yeah, because if it was the other way around, and I was just streaming all shows and not putting the contents on YouTube, then that would probably be a downer to y'all. For those who don't have certain platforms like Netflix. But, chat, we're going to dive into this. I would say enjoy.
It's been a long year since I've done a Ring cameras video, and as it turns out, people are still creeps and a lot of new videos have surfaced. So let's look at some of them.
Yeah.
This first video is a very real and grisly reminder that danger can be following you anywhere at any time, even to your front door. And it can be a lesson, especially for women, to be alert of your surroundings, especially before opening your front door.
Right? That person, look at that. Stalking, hunting, got a wife and kid. Nah. On the driveway. Uh-oh. Now, someone want to tell me why he has an Ash Ketchum hat on? like, like you're playing Pokemon Go. I don't know, follow me a Pokemon. Wait, I need to go capture you real quick. Got on some stockings on. Y'all see they got a whole Ash Ketchum hat on.
As you just saw, a mother holding her infant daughter unknowingly leads a man to her front door,
And the kid,
mere seconds away from him getting inside.
The kid looked
As
back.
the
Did you
man
see that?
approaches
The
the
kid looked back
driveway,
and saw
you
that.
can see him pulling up the mask over his face to conceal his identity, clearly with premeditated intentions.
I mean,
As the man walks up the
got the
driveway,
stockings
the
on.
daughter takes notice to him as the mother is
Right?
still completely oblivious to the approaching threat. Luckily, she makes it inside and shuts the door in time. She only realized what had just happened
She
after
would've
looking
got-
through the
she-
terrifying ring footage.
She would have got
The
captured.
woman made a report to the police as soon as she saw the footage, and what the police said was disturbing. There had been a series of reports of a brutal and violent rapist in the area who had been targeting women and children. It's suspected that he and this man were the same person.
That
No
was my
sane
dad with
person
the
leaves
milk.
their house with a full
Really?
face mask such as this one if they're not knowingly
should-
about to commit a
nah.
serious crime and want to conceal their identity.
I want to say
The woman in the video
that.
just may have saved her and her
Nowhere near
child's
say
life
that.
just by the skin of her teeth.
And she
If you're not convinced
got
of just how
in
often this kind of thing
a second
happens,
late.
here's a similar video. A young college-age looking
It
girl
would've been
is coming
nasty.
home, letting herself into her house. Not even 5 seconds after she enters the home, two large men step on the porch, and the one in front immediately tries to
Yo,
open the
Shadow,
door.
what's good? Hope you had a good nap. See, they're waiting for her to open the door. When she got all it unlocked, now we make our way. And this guy has the nerve to knock on the door. Like, he doesn't even realize he already got exposed. He has the nerve to knock on the door like, hello? Could you spare a cup of sugar? Trying to make some, some cake for my kid's birthday party tomorrow. Like, I mean, and plus you already see he had a weapon in his hand too. And tries to, jiggling the doorknob. This motherfucker's locked. Doggone it. Like, seriously? Oh,
Some people think
you
the
can
men
hear
looked
them
genuinely
screaming in the
confused
house.
and may have had the wrong house.
Like, I'm calling
However,
police!
a short
Get
window
out
of
of
time
here!
between the girl entering the house and the men stepping on the porch would have definitely allowed them to see the girl.
Look
You'd
at
think
that.
anyone who just tries to
Casually.
open the door to a house surely must know they have the right house, or
Look
at the
like he
very
had
least know
like
who
a
lives in the
pocket
house.
knife or something.
It could also be argued that when the man turns to his friend behind him, he's making mention of the camera, and so he pretends to think he has the right house by sticking around and knocking, despite the obvious
Gonna
screams from the girl
pretend.
inside as she notices the men at the door. It seems they only run off after the girl starts screaming, "We're calling the police."
We're calling the police! Get out of here!
So unlike the first video, there's no 100% proof
Like-
of whether these guys had bad intentions or not. Whether they were trying to grab the girl,
Like-
or if they genuinely had the wrong house is up for debate, as there's no further info on this video.
They tried to grab
That
her.
is the second
They tried to grab her
Still,
and do
everything
more than
about the
that.
men's actions was sketchy. In this video, on the other hand, what's going on couldn't be more clear. In the early morning hours on October 16th in Kent, Washington,
Right?
a
Yeah,
couple
they
is
would have
seen
ran
returning
so
home.
fast if they would have
The
heard.
husband is seen unlocking the door.
You know what I'm saying?
And seconds later,
The moment
as
you
the
hear
man's
that,
wife
now
follows
you know to
behind,
run.
She turns her head to a gun-wielding suspect chasing behind her. She acts quickly and runs inside, locking the front door. The suspect then spots the ring camera and hits it repeatedly with his gun, effectively breaking the device.
Oh, literally that close. You know, that wouldn't solve
It's at this
anything.
time
We
that you can
already
notice a second man there
got
as
you. You
well.
know what I'm saying? And look at that. You brought
The couple
your
spent their night at a
minion along
casino,
with you.
and for this
Like,
reason,
it wouldn't
the wife
matter.
believes the two men followed them home from the casino, hoping to rob them of any of their winnings. Fortunately, they made it
The
inside safely.
casino.
The suspect with the gun was identified by police as 18-year-old Al Hussein Drameh, and he was arrested on October 26th. He faced multiple charges, including burglary in the first degree, and he pleaded not guilty to all of them.
Now you gonna tell me that, and that's the thing too, y'all. If y'all ever go to a casino, make sure you bring friends with you. Bring friends with you that you can trust that got your back. Because if the moment you win something big, I'm telling you right now, you're going to have eyes in the back of your head. Because the moment you hit that jackpot, I'm telling you, you're gonna be, so someone's going to have their keen eye on you. Get that jackpot. Get that 20 grand. Oh, I'm telling you better, either you need to move to a new neighborhood, a new country, or you better have some guns locked and loaded on you and let them know that I will blast you if you look at me the wrong way. Let them know that you mentally insane, but you're really not, though. Nah, he's
With
18 years
video,
old.
we moved to something
Dude's
a little
a
more
kid.
paranormal.
He's a
This was
kid.
caught on a TikToker named Nolan Brock's indoor ring security camera
A
while he
whole
was sleeping
child.
on the couch. At
What?
1:39 in the morning, he's awoken to the pantry doors opening and some kind of cracks or bangs coming from either inside the pantry or from the doors themselves.
Ooh. Y'all see, y'all, can you believe that? You sleep and you hear that.
With the fan running, the thought of it being a draft wasn't out of the question per
A
se.
giraffe?
He ignored it and tried to go back to sleep.
He ignored.
But 4 minutes later, at 1:43, this happened.
You think I'm gonna ignore something like that? That's that close? If you're sleeping and you hear noises in your house, you know you don't. I don't see no cat. I don't see no dog anywhere. You look like you sleeping. Look like you sleeping on the. Okay, you sleeping on the couch, and I'm guessing your wife is sleeping in your bedroom or her bedroom or whatever. But if you don't have any pets or kids and you hearing noises, and it ain't your wife, oh no, I'm gonna investigate that, especially if it's 3 feet beside you. Nah. Okay, you have a cat. I seen the
One of
kitty.
the doors is aggressively yanked shut,
What?
and this officially removes any possibility of a draft being the cause of the doors moving. It's safe to assume he slept in his bed the rest of the night.
Wait.
This next video
Wait. Okay, so I'm thinking someone's gonna come out of there. First of all, second of all, okay, he did have an animal, had a cute little kitty cat. Third of all, why were you sleeping on the sofa in the first place? I would guess okay, watching television, but if I'm about to go to sleep, I'm gonna go to my bed. I'm not gonna sleep on the couch. I literally assumed that his wife sleeping in the bed and she wanted him to sleep on the couch. But I'm gonna sleep in the bed the next time. What do you mean the next time? It would have been immediately. Bro, I'm thinking someone's gonna come out of there hiding in a pantry? Nah. Yo, what's worse? Someone hiding in your house or an entity in your house?
video also comes from inside of a house instead of the front porch, and this one can play on one of the biggest fears of a lot of people, and
Okay.
that is someone lurking around your house as you sleep.
Oh,
In Wichita, Kansas, a family's Ring cameras captured some terrifying video footage of a stranger standing directly over sleeping 15-year-old Anaya Robinson at around 2:30 a.m. on a Friday night. This was the footage captured.
oh no. Oh no. I feel sorry for anyone who's a heavy sleeper. If you living by yourself and you sleeping heavy, a whole bear could walk in your house and you wouldn't even know it. But knowing that some weirdo is standing over you, looking at you sleeping, and you sleeping hard. I'm talking about you having the best dream of your life. I would rather have a wild animal be in my house than a dog or a human being. At least I know I can scare it away. But that, oh, you about to get popped the moment I see you in the corner of my eye. You're in my house. I'm going to pop you right between the eyes. I might pop you in the kneecap if I get the chance. Like, what are you doing in my house watching me sleep? What? Nah. Just standing there.
Anaya said once she opened her eyes, she felt like she was in a scene from a horror movie. seeing somebody sitting over her, watching her that she didn't know. Anaya rushed to her mother Angel's room, screaming there's somebody in the house.
Creeping.
And after being jolted awake, Angel made sure her 2-year-old daughter and Anaya were safe in a room before calling the police. Wichita police responded quickly.
You know what I'm saying? We got you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
It's likely the boy entered the house simply through the front door.
Front door? So, what, it was unlocked?
Luckily, the Ring cameras clearly caught his face. And using this footage, the police acted on a tip and were able to arrest a 14-year-old boy whose name was not released. 14. The boy faced aggravated burglary and theft charges. In November 2021...
Alright, listen, chat. Listen, I'm not really a pauser like that, but if I see something like this, I'm going to talk about it, alright? So you're 14 years old and you're creeping through someone's house. Through the front door. Whose fault is it that the door was, unlocked? Maybe he lockpicked it. I don't know. But you, and so the mother, 15-year-old kid, and he had another kid as well. You 14 and you trying to rob someone's house. Now, let me ask y'all this, chat. Is it wrong to shoot a kid that's in your house, creeping around your house? And let me add a bonus tip to that. You have a child in your house. You have a kid, right? Literally just say there's a kid in there, a baby sleeping. What if that 14-year-old went for that baby? You think I'm not going to shoot that 14-year-old kid? You must got me confused. Because last time I checked, a newborn is more important than a 14-year-old. Especially if it's my newborn child. You already know how bad it gets when someone is in your house and your baby is sleeping and there's a burglar in there. You wake up in the morning, it could be a nasty scene. Or worse.
A woman reported on Twitter that a creepy look...
Wait a minute. This is what I've been dealing with since October 31st. This man has been outside of my apartment almost every night. I have contacted everyone that I know to contact about this. What is it going to take for y'all to protect and serve?
Looking man had been standing outside of her apartment almost every night for an entire month. Sad. She included a few of the videos caught by her Ring camera, and it shows the man creepily standing there for extended periods of time, facing her door.
Over 5, just standing there.
He can be heard speaking.
Right, the cops wouldn't be on the shooter side, right?
But what he says is impossible to hear. The woman resorted to posting this on Twitter after her complaints to the police apparently fell on deaf ears. It was a few days after her initial post that she posted an update stating that her friends and family confronted the man, which seemingly...
Okay, hold on. Okay, I am safe for now. I have friends and family here that confronted him, so hopefully he stays away. Since my post has went viral, last night security did 2 routines throughout the night. Thank you everyone for the continued support. See, that's what I'm talking about.
They got him to stop.
That's what I'm talking about.
Additionally, the post going viral prompted her building security to do an additional routine throughout the night. I can't seem to find her Twitter profile anymore, so there don't appear to be any updates on the matter.
Just standing there for 5 minutes.
Video, an El Paso resident's Ring camera catches what appears at first to be a woman in danger seeking help at their front door in the middle of the night. But this may be a much more sinister situation than that.
Right, it took her she had to post her situation on Twitter for her to be saved. What are we paying the police for again?
At first, the woman appears to be in distress, possibly on the run from someone, crying and pleading for help. But things start getting suspicious when she hides anytime a car is approaching.
Anytime a car is approaching. So, yeah, she's being hunted. That's what that is. Now, chat, I want to ask y'all this real question about this one. Do you think this would be a trap? Now don't get me wrong. If someone is pleading for help in this type of situation, normally a good Samaritan would help that person, right? But people use that to bait you into a trap. So my question to you is, do you think this is a trap, or she is legit trying to get help because she's being hunted by someone doing the drive-bys? Car approaches sin, so she hides.
Is she hiding from a specific person chasing after her? Or is she perhaps trying to not be seen from any passerbys?
Yeah, because that single passerby could be them. Yo. Stuff like this legit be happening. Like, stuff like this legit be happening. It's like, bro.
After the neighbor's driveway light turns on, a car's headlights approach from the right, and she's seen casually walking away, presumably to get in that unseen car. Perhaps because her driver was growing paranoid that too much attention was being drawn, so they needed to leave.
Yo, hey, I'm telling you right now, y'all, get Ring cameras.
Now you could say that's just a far-fetched theory of mine, but a month later, El Paso police arrested a woman who was charged with burglary of habitation. That woman was Krista Nicole Cordeaux. The woman in the video looks identical to the woman in this mugshot. The charge this woman faced is defined as the act of entering any building illegally with the plan to do something serious, such as harming the owner, damaging property, or stealing. Suddenly, the prospect that this woman could have been trying to trick an unsuspecting person into opening their door doesn't seem so far-fetched. As always, keep your doors locked and be careful who you open them to.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Yo. Chat, I'm gonna tell you right now, the links to these videos are in the description, alright? But now, you see what I'm saying? Let's say the man or woman would open the door, would have got straight up sucker punch. But jumping into the next video.
In this first video, a small YouTuber goes into a tunnel that seems to be near his home. As he walks in slowly, he hears a loud, screeching sound that gets louder the deeper he goes. Eventually, he sees something further down the tunnel, which scares him and makes him run out quickly.
Why would you go in there? Why would you go in there in the first place? That's the question. Why would you go in? Why would you go in here and then see something scary and run away? Hello? Right? Let's say hello. Oh! Oh, it's different now. No, not, hey, hello. Why are you screaming? I'm just saying hello.
What the fuck was that?
Alien in North Carolina. This short silent video comes with a detailed backstory from the uploader.
What?
They wrote, "If you've been following the sewer monster story from North Carolina, I've got some crazy news. The video of the throbbing creature has been confirmed as real.
Ew.
But what is it?" An anonymous source told us about how Raleigh, North Carolina is handling the viral video of the seething blob in the sewers. Marty Gibson, the environmental EMS coordinator for public utilities in Raleigh, was as confused as the rest of us.
Yeah,
she initially said the video showed a slime
like
mold in a phase of its life cycle where it looks like a throbbing, breathing animal. She assured the source that any water passing by the slime would be treated and cleaned thoroughly. However, a few hours later, Gibson retracted her statement in an email, saying the video was taken in a private sewer system by a private contractor. It does not belong to the city of Raleigh and won't reach the wastewater treatment plant.
Okay.
The blob was identified as worms. But what kind of worms look like that?
Ew.
You tell me. The story is quite a scandal. What do you guys think?
I think we need to kill it with fire. That's what I think. Look like someone's brain. And it's like someone, like an animal's brain, and it's moving from, you know, being dropped into chemical waste, biohazard chemicals, like some Resident Evil type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that, like a brain you would think would move. Now it's moving. Bro, imagine seeing a blob in real life. Man, come on.
3 boys decide to explore a train tunnel near Odell Lake in Oregon.
One thing
they bring flashlights, but the
away
tunnel is so dark
if it's
they
in
can
the
hardly
house,
see
just
a few
burn the house
feet
down.
ahead. At first, they walk slowly on the tracks, taking their time. However, as they go further into the tunnel, they realize it's much longer than they thought.
Oh.
They start to feel nervous and begin to jog, hoping to reach the other end quickly. Their nervousness soon turns to panic, and one of the boys speaks up.
Hold on.
Panicking? It goes from chill, nervous, panicking, running. Yep. Let's jog harder. Right? We're not running, we're just jogging harder, that's all. Like, why would you go into the tunnel at night? Like, what?
Less than a minute later, he gets his answer.
It's a train. I'm gonna get on the side.
Wait a minute. Can I get subtitles in here? Hold up.
The boys jump into the muddy water beside the tracks. As the train rushes toward them, they press tightly against the tunnel wall.
The train? Oh my god. Oh my god. Train is coming. Now just think, it's like a really tight space in there. They would have been gone. I mean, y'all better become the wall. Well, I know this will be the last time going into the tunnels at night.
Luckily, the 3 boys survive the passing train without a scratch. Hopefully, they won't walk through any more train tunnels after this.
Right?
Have you ever had a near-death experience like this? If so, let me know in the comments.
I'm sure one of them is already wet with fear, knowing that could have been ran over by a train.
Monster in Oregon. A young man in Oregon claimed he had been hearing strange noises coming from the sewer tunnel near his home. So, like any curious person, he decided to investigate. He grabbed a camera and headed for the tunnel, hoping to catch whatever was making the noise on film. In the video, we can hear him saying, "I'm coming up on the tunnel right now. I'm hearing the noises inside the tunnel."
And
then we hear the disturbing sounds he mentioned, which sound like someone or something being tortured, followed by heavy breathing and panting.
No.
As he moves through the darkness, we catch a quick glimpse of a creature in the tunnel. It has humanoid features, but looks like it has been wasting away in the sewers for years. This one is hard to believe, considering no rational person would hear such intense noises and think investigating alone is a good idea.
Hello? Hello? hurt you.
Whoa.
I didn't hurt you. I didn't hurt you. I just...
This next video might make you never want...
I can confirm that is a monster. Now, I'm thinking that's probably a doggone skinwalker maybe, but yeah, okay. I mean, if I heard noises like that and that's where the noise is coming from, yeah, wow. So I could say it was once human, but now it became that because it's been just living in the sewers, rotting away, and now it's just down there eating rats. I would rather, to be honest, I would rather be a dead doggone crocodile because that right there, that's a legit skinwalker, like legit skinwalker.
Want to go near a tunnel again.
No.
A huge alligator is seen lurking near the tunnel's entrance.
Woo! That's a big boy. Woo! That's a big boy right there. You could just...
If you're missing a green ball, don't come looking for it here.
Right? Hey, listen, it's all yours, buddy.
Definitely got my attention.
An 8-foot alligator snuck up on Luis Camacho when he came out to get the mail.
I can hear him and feel him.
Bro. It's like it, but I think that's how scary, bro. If you're missing a green ball, I wouldn't recommend getting it because look at him. He's waiting for you to go get this ball. He's looking like, yeah, it's right here. Come get it. Oh, don't worry, I ain't gonna do nothing. Bro,
I could feel it at my feet, the vibration.
He was practically
you can
standing
see
on
the
top of the gator.
size.
I moved over, I looked down.
The size of his head. That's a big,
and I felt the vibration
big
again.
alligator.
Vibration created by this
Oh,
mighty hit.
no.
I guess to warn me to back off.
FWC says a full-size alligator this big can be very dangerous, especially when it feels cornered. Crews say they've seen gators in gutters, but it's not common. They also say you should
It's a
call
good
something
thing
like
it
this
can't come out of there.
We asked if FWC would have trappers remove the gator. It told us likely yes, because it's in a neighborhood with children and pets. Camacho says he wasn't worried.
The Thing in the Risa tunnels.
Hey, Charlie, look.
Project
Listen,
Risa was a secret plan by the German army to build underground structures and tunnels in the Polish mountains. However, the project was never completed, leaving behind a strange network of tunnels and caves. The purpose of these tunnels remains unknown because no documentation was ever found. Many people have tried to uncover the true intentions behind these tunnels by exploring them. In this video, a group of people are exploring the dark and winding tunnels of Project Risa. As they move through the tunnels, they encounter a strange cave explorer. The group sees this person sprinting across the tunnel in the darkness ahead, prompting them to chase after him. They find a small, mysterious hole off the cave, one that would be hard to squeeze through at high speeds. Who was the mysterious explorer? Why was he in the caves? Does he live there? Or is there something more sinister going on?
No, it could be more than one.
Well, there you have it. Did these tunnels creep you out? Did we miss any? Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments below.
Nah. If I see something in the tunnels, I'm heading back out. Like, bro, I'm leaving. If you're not coming with me, I'm leaving you behind. I'm not going anywhere near down there. Like, it's like trying to go down the rabbit hole. And the rabbit hole is like a bottomless pit. Bruh, I've seen enough. There are things that... It's like going to the bottom of the ocean, okay? Why would we go into a cave? You don't know how far this cave is. You don't know what could be living down here after all these years. It could be a doggone cult, for all I know. It could be a pack of skinwalkers down there, for all I know. It could be a bunch of deranged homeless people down there, for all I know. I'm not going down no dark cave. I'm not going no tunnel. Yeah, sure, we got some little lights and everything, but, bro, I'm not going down there. It could be more than one. You saw it walk past casually. and then it disappeared down that hole too. Nah, I'm leaving. I'm going right back out, and we can just call this, closed. We can just seal the tunnels. That's all I'm telling you. We are sealing it.
This next video was recorded by some smaller YouTubers. They enter a tunnel and are attacked shortly after going in, forcing them to run out as fast as they can.
Right, because kids don't know any better, right?
But shh.
Let's go and investigate a dark tunnel. I swear to God.
What is that?
I can't see it. Okay, you can't see it on the camera. How come you can't see it?
It's gonna be standing right there, scaring them all the time.
Oh wait, there we go. Hold on, I saw it.
Oh, I'm out.
Alright, okay, I don't know if you guys could have seen that, but there's like something standing right there.
The brightness thing on that is
stand, huh?
Down here. Probably.
So you mean to tell me none of y'all got like a flashlight? Okay, you got a flashlight.
I've never seen a lot of water from here.
What?
It's pretty creepy.
yeah, got trash everywhere.
Yeah, like this way, there's like a little. This is the street view. This is the street view right here.
I want to know what the parents think about this. To where your kid is going into a dark cave, a dark tunnel, thinking it's fun, thinking it's cool. And the one thing I hate about kids like this, if someone tells you, "Hey, I dare you to go down this dark cave," no. Oh, what? You're scared? You're chicken? Wait, how do kids say in this generation? You're ducking or something? Like, I'm not doing something stupid. I'm not trying to get myself killed. What are you talking about? You got people like that. Stay away from them. You're much smarter than that.
What the
Oh, now we're running. Where's the casual energy 5 minutes ago? Exhilarating, isn't it?
Creature in the Walls. This video is from a Ukrainian man exploring the woods and filming with his phone. At the start, we see a shovel, so we can guess he's either looking for something or burying something. He shows us the trees before focusing on an overgrown, broken down area. But that's not the scary part. He stands on what seems to be a bridge with broken wooden planks, revealing a tunnel below. As he gets closer, we suddenly see a creepy old man with scary eyes lurking below. The man screams and runs away into the woods. Who do you think this man was? Let me know in the comments below.
What the fuck? Well, I know I probably wouldn't sleep right at night. That's all I know. I know I wouldn't sleep right at night if I seen something like that.
This next video might be proof of ghosts caught on camera. A man is looking for his friend, and when he looks around a corner, he sees something unexpected. A white figure just hovering there. Do you think it's a ghost sighting, or just someone being creepy in a tunnel?
Matt?
It might be all of the above.
I told you he's sick, he needed to take a breather. Matt? Following us? Why is he behind me 5 seconds ago when he was there? I need to stop playing around, man. Matt!
Matt!
That's why he's freaking us out.
Matt would have been gone. Like, Matt, if you go...
Just go, take the right hand turn.
This next video claims to show an
just
alien caught
there
on camera. The footage is recorded deep inside a sewer tunnel. About halfway through the video, a creature appears. It's too big to be a regular sewer animal, so what do you think it is? Let me know in the comments.
Not me. Now, okay, I want y'all to take a good look at this one. Do you think that's a human? Because if you can like just straight up visualize this, right? See how big his eyes is. Now look at that. You see that? Okay, you see like the arm part right here is bent. That's a fucking arm. That ain't no leg, and it's peeking around the corner, and it look like about say about 7, maybe 8 feet tall. So I can assume that this is legitimately a creature, not an animal, a creature. I'm talking about like boogeyman type creature. You know what I'm saying? This one is legitimately legitimately like an alien. I would say, but that is not a person. That is not a person. It would have to take some incredible incredible makeup and cosplay to make that look so real that you would think that is a whole alien down there. Never mind. I was right. I never mind. That's legit alien. Cause look at that. Oh my god, it came out even further. I'm thinking it was just gonna do a little peepop, but look at that. That looked like a fucking werewolf. Not even like a for real alien. Yo. Chad, I'm telling you, there's stuff like
This tunnel in Poland was abandoned by the Nazis during World War II. Some explorers start filming just as they capture a creature running across the tunnel. They quickly chase after it, but it escapes through a small hole that's too small for any human to fit through.
The dark side of the woods. Like, just stuff like that, y'all. It's just wow.
This next video is from Faze Rug as he explores an abandoned tunnel near where he used to live. As he searches the tunnel, he quickly comes back out when he hears screaming from inside.
What? There's people in there? I can't hear right now. Let me go down to where you...
I kind of wish I wore more shit.
Fucking change this flashlight? What? How far deep? No, let's just... Could you hold the over here? It's fucking close. Wait, let's see. Wait, how far deep are we?
Come be me. Come be me.
Fine, no. Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding me? No, this is how people die. We're on a television sit down. No, I'm braided, but I don't want it anymore. I don't want it. I don't want it. What do you mean? Fine, just put it here. No, like, don't you need a video? Fine, I don't need a video. I can let it.
Come on, okay, let's walk away.
Something's gonna be peeking at you.
Brandon, me and Anthony were in here for an hour.
But you're gonna be hearing some screams though, first. Then the peeking comes in. Then they're gonna start running.
Okay. Footage right here is literally insane. I was so happy when I saw that I recorded it because I was unsure of it. I literally showed my mom, Brandon's girlfriend, everybody this clip, and everyone's like, no way, this is real. Like, this is not real. This is not possible. Brandon's still talking about it to this minute, like saying that he's never coming back to the tunnel, and that was insanely scary. So just prepare yourselves. Here's the clip. I'll turn up the volume too, and I'll just keep replaying it for you guys. So enjoy.
Oh, I know I'm gonna enjoy.
Wait, there's a little girl crying in there.
All right. So that should be a lesson for y'all. Like for real. Like, chat, that should be a lesson to y'all. Do not go into tunnels, okay? Because you don't know what could be lurking in those tunnels. You might be going to someone's nesting ground. You might be going to someone's home, for God's sakes. Like I said, I mean, nah, I'm not going no tunnel. If you're smart, you know not to go into a tunnel. Like, bro, your instincts are going to tell you, don't go in there. I don't care how curious you are, don't go in there. So, next video is 6 most disturbing abandoned building encounters caught on camera. So, woo! Let's dive in. See how disturbing this gets.
Urbex Hill is one of the most popular urban exploration channels on YouTube, featuring raw footage from YouTuber Chris Hill's visits to a lot of the more extreme abandoned buildings in the US. From abandoned mental hospitals to decommissioned military facilities, Chris explores all of it, but specifically places that a lot of even the more extreme explorers wouldn't visit, at least not at night and alone like Chris always does. In January 2023, he uploaded footage of his visit to the now abandoned Paul Revere Elementary School in Cleveland. After almost a century of use, the school was permanently closed in 2015 due to declining enrollment numbers. Although there are allegedly plans to turn the abandoned building into a housing complex, as of 2024, Paul Revere Elementary is still abandoned and in terrible shape. From the moment Chris walks inside, it's pretty clear that the place hasn't been used in years and has been severely damaged by the elements, vandals, and the passage of time. The bottom floors are all flooded, the walls are peeling, the structure doesn't seem too sound, and there's rust, random papers, books, and all kinds of debris lying everywhere. Throughout the video, you can see messages written in seemingly fresh chalk on some of the whiteboards, confirming that people have been in the building recently. This was actually Chris's second visit to Paul Revere Elementary. When he uploaded footage of his March 2022 visit to the school, several people in the comments mentioned they had either been students or teachers at the school and talked about how incredibly sad it was to see their beloved childhood school ruined by abandonment and lack of maintenance. A little after 10 minutes into the exploration, you can hear some sort of ruffling sound and other strange noises coming from somewhere in the schoolhouse.
Like, we know when a place is abandoned like this.
What is that?
What was that? You're gonna hear noises.
Do you hear that? Somebody's here.
Yeah, I saw the flashlight.
As Chris turns a corner in the hallway, another person's flashlight can be seen shining down the hall. It looks to be just one person, who was likely either another urban explorer or a squatter. Still, at 1 a.m. in an abandoned building, it's obviously best to avoid drawing unwanted attention to yourself, especially when you don't know the other person's intentions, which is why Chris ultimately decided to run instead of making his presence known. Making sure to walk in the other direction to avoid running into anyone, he then heads to the library and explores the rest of the top floors. As he goes into the bathroom on the top floor, he has another encounter.
So, you're telling me you're not gonna try to leave after that? What if that person had a gun or something? You don't know. Or maybe, you know, or just not a gun, let's say a dangerous, sharp object. I don't think you have something to protect yourself with. So why are you still in the school? Why are you still investigating, bro? You're acting like Fred from Scooby-Doo. Like, oh man, that was close. Let's keep searching, gang. Like, after a near life or death experience, you're gonna still investigate? Okay. All right. Oh my god! Oh my god! All right. Okay.
Somebody's in there.
Yeah. Just standing there. Okay. All right.
Out of me.
Just standing there. Oh, all right. At the far end of the bathroom, what appears to be a human silhouette can be seen standing completely motionless. After the initial shock of the encounter, Chris draws his gun and goes back inside to confront the man.
You're going back inside.
Hello.
Well, it might be a mannequin. It might be a mannequin. It's a mannequin.
Oh, it's a toy.
It's a doggone mannequin. Woo! You see what I mean?
Oh my god, that scared the out of me.
It's just a mannequin.
As it turns out, the silhouette was actually a scary mannequin that somebody set up, probably to scare away visitors. What's most eerie is that even though we can't know for sure how long the mannequin had been standing there before the footage was shot, for some reason it fell forward just in time for Chris to see it, the most reasonable explanation being from the sound waves bouncing off the wall. Most people would have left as soon as they saw the mannequin, but Chris continued to explore the rest of the school, seemingly unmoved by the horrifying experience he just went through, though not before clearing the entire rest of the bathroom. Sadly, some of the rooms in the school are filled with books, whiteboards, and other perfectly usable materials that could have been donated to another school before the building was abandoned. But nobody seemed to care enough to give them away before the school was abandoned. About half an hour into the visit, Chris climbs up to the roof, which in itself is pretty risky. Even if you don't care about getting caught by the cops, there's still a very high risk of the roof caving in, especially considering the state of the building when the footage was shot. Fortunately, he was able to climb down safely, but that's when a strange noise could be heard coming from the other end of one of the hallways.
Safe is still here. I wonder what's in it.
Ooh. No, another. Oh!
As Chris explores one of the rooms, a strange howl can be heard in the distance,
and
as he raises his camera, you can clearly see a shadow moving behind the door at the far end of the room. By this point, it's pretty clear that not only are multiple other people in the building with him, but now he's possibly being stalked. Once again, Chris draws his gun and prepares for an encounter.
Okay.
He doesn't find anyone in any of the rooms.
Okay, so we got a gun.
After this, he admits he's ready to call it a night and decides to head home, but not before this final encounter.
This place is weird as hell.
He's getting haunted by ghosts. It hid behind the door. A man got a gun, so I give him points for that. He did come prepared. I'm glad. But the fact he went and checked and nobody was there. Did you get the chills knowing that no one is there? I'm sure you did.
Oh, here it is. This place is crazy. I remember the last time I explored it. Hello?
Right? Hello? Right? I mean, I got the camera right here and the gun right here. Hello? Hello? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I know I heard somebody coming down these stairs. I'm out.
Ooh, boy.
As he struggles to find his way out of the school, the sound of footsteps can be clearly heard on the stairway directly above Chris's head. But after running up and calling out to see if he gets a response, nobody acknowledges him.
Right.
Luckily, he was able to walk away unharmed and has continued to upload videos of his visits to abandoned places pretty frequently.
Hey, I give him props.
The Proper People is an urban exploration channel owned by Brian and Michael, two friends who travel the world in search of abandoned buildings. For the past 10 years that their channel has been active, Brian and Michael have built up a reputation for being a trustworthy channel that only uploads genuine footage of their explorations. In a niche of YouTube that's often plagued by cheap, fake footage from people trying to get their 15 minutes of fame, The Proper People has endured as one of the most reliable channels in the urbex space. They gained their fame from explorations of genuinely cool places instead of faking creepy encounters or anything of the such.
Right.
In 2016, they uploaded a video of their nighttime visit to the Jemison Center in Northport, Alabama, often referred to as Old Bryce Hospital. From 1939 to 1977, the Jemison Center housed hundreds of psychiatric patients and acquired a reputation for treating them pretty harshly. Often referred to as the creepiest building in Alabama, Old Bryce was closed in the late 70s and has since been reclaimed by nature and become a hotspot for urban explorers from all over the world. As Michael and Brian approach the location in their car, there doesn't seem to be anyone around, and after driving around the grounds for a while, the two YouTubers get out of their vehicle to begin exploring, settling on the basement as the first area to explore. After more than 4 decades of abandonment, the entire complex is almost completely destroyed, and while some of the walls are completely covered in all kinds of graffiti, some of them aren't even there anymore. With the state of disrepair of the Jemison Center, there's always a chance that the structure could collapse on itself and trap Brian and Michael inside. But as they go up the stairs to explore the top floor, it becomes clear that an unsound structure is the least of their worries.
It's like,
look at this.
You know, the moment you see something looking at you, and it ain't your friend, you're gonna take off.
Oh.
It's gonna be a slight glimpse.
There's somebody there.
And you're gonna take off. I'm telling you.
Yes, I see their light. They're out there. I swear on my life.
They're out there. Not singular. Plural.
Should I say hello? There's somebody out there. Let's go back to the car. This way. If it's somebody wanting to talk to us.
Let's go to the car now.
Oh yeah.
Let's go back to the car. Okay.
As the camera pans to the window, the outline of a person holding up a light can be seen on the staircase on the opposite side of the building. Disturbingly, as soon as the uploaders turn off their light, the other person does the exact same thing, indicating they were watching and didn't want to be spotted. Chillingly, if you rewind the footage to when the YouTubers arrived at the top floor, you can clearly see a light outside the window frame, but it's unclear if the light was coming from the same person who was watching them. After calling out and receiving no response, Brian and Michael decide to go back to their car to avoid getting jumped or worse. It's hard to know what exactly the intentions of the other person were, but what's even more disturbing is the fact that there were no other cars in the area when they arrived and when they left, which means that whoever was there had arrived on foot and probably been there for a while. Ridgely Hospital was a women's psychiatric hospital in Lancaster, UK that operated for almost 100 years from 1916 to 2013. Famous for being one of the first psychiatric hospitals in the UK that fought for the humane treatment of mentally ill patients, Ridgely Hospital housed thousands of patients and used modern treatment methods such as electroconvulsion therapy to help patients with a range of disorders, from severe depression to obsession to mania. In April 2022, YouTuber Exploring with Tom visited the site with 3 of his friends in the middle of the night. Throughout their visit, they were extremely loud and not aware of their surroundings, which is obviously not the best idea when exploring an abandoned building. Keep in mind that most of these abandoned buildings are still considered government property, which makes it illegal to trespass and explore the grounds. Still, if you disturb a hostile squatter's home by being obnoxiously loud, getting arrested would probably be the least of your worries.
Yeah, like getting arrested is like minor. Squatters? They got some bigger plans for y'all.
After hearing some strange noises coming from one of the rooms, the 4 explorers call out to see if there's anyone in the building, and this is where things get a little disturbing.
April the 1st, huh?
What? There's someone there. Someone there. Let's see what it is. It might need help.
Hello? Who? Hello?
What if it's a trap? Go! Run! Run, guys, run!
Everyone okay? Everyone okay? Keep calm. Keep calm.
Yep, keep calm. Keep calm. Keep calm. Oh my God, right behind us.
Get out. Get out. Get out.
Get out. Go. Jump to the window.
What do you want? He's right there! He's right there!
Right there! Get in, man!
Yo!
As soon as one of the teenagers calls out, a man can be heard screaming from inside the room. Without thinking twice, Tom and his friends make a run for it back to their car, but disturbingly, the man isn't satisfied with just scaring them out of the building and ends up chasing them all the way to their car. It's unknown who the man was or what he wanted from them, but one of the theories that's been echoing in the comments is that he was probably a homeless person who got upset at the amount of noise Tom and his friends were making. It's probably not too pleasant to have 4 rowdy teenagers burst into the abandoned building you call your home and start yelling, laughing, and swearing. But still, it's good they were able to get away unharmed.
Yeah, and I'm sure they learned a lesson too, right?
In 2006, a 36-year-old man named Vincent Filia was living in the woods as a fugitive near Lugoff, South Carolina, after being accused of abusing his stepdaughter. In September of that same year, he saw a 14-year-old girl named Elizabeth Shoaf getting off the school bus and decided to abduct her. Posing as a police officer, Filya arrested Shoaf on a supposed marijuana charge and led her to his hideout in the middle of the woods. For 10 days, Elizabeth was chained up and abused by Filya in the underground bunker beneath the hideout in what can only be described as a nightmare come true.
Wow.
Still, the girl was extremely resilient throughout the whole ordeal and came up with a plan to escape from the horrifying situation she found herself in.
10 days?
If she wanted to escape, Elizabeth knew that she had to get Vincent to like her. For several days, she pretended to be in love with Filya, and eventually the kidnapper lowered his guard, even unchaining her and allowing her to play games on his phone. One night, while Vincent was sleeping, the teenager got a hold of his phone and sent a text to her mom saying she was in a hole across the Charm Hill, that there was a bomb, and to call the police. As it was later revealed, Filya had planned to draw in as many people as possible to the bunker to detonate a bomb and take the lives of the responding officers. However, he never managed to carry out his plan, for just a few minutes later the area was surrounded by helicopters and he was forced to surrender. To make a long story short, Elizabeth was able to move on with her life, and the monster named Vincent Filya spent the rest of his life in prison, where he died in 2021 in his cell. In December 2023, a YouTuber named Big Banks visited the abandoned hideout where the terrifying crime took place. Immediately upon entering the house, the uploader finds something extremely disturbing.
I think this was the little girl's backpack.
She came up with that plan nicely, though.
To see, knowing that happened.
14
years old. A little girl's
old.
backpack can be seen on the floor outside the kitchen. Although it's impossible to confirm if it belonged to Elizabeth Shoaf, it is possible that it was planted there after the crime by somebody else. As he explores the living room, the uploader finds more creepy stuff, including a DVD of the horror movie The Strangers, a Halloween decoration next to one of the couches, a shank, a broken baseball bat, and a ripstick. Obviously, the fact that these items were left behind is much more disturbing when you consider the history of the house. It's heartbreaking to imagine that some of the toys lying around the floor possibly belonged to the girl that Vincent Filya had stolen. Throughout the rest of the house, several objects and pieces of furniture, including the bed in the main room, look like they were placed there much later than 2006. It's possible that the house was occupied by squatters, but because it was empty at the time the footage was shot, it's impossible to know what belonged to Filya, his common-law family, his victim, and the squatters. Thankfully, after being reunited with her family in 2006, Elizabeth went on to live a fruitful life, and the man who committed the heinous crime against her paid the price for it. Holton Avenue is a notoriously creepy abandoned...
Wow. She played that out so well. She legitimately played that out. 14 years old? Yo, instead of like... Because normal, like, 14-year-olds, they be screaming, trying to escape, reckless plans left and right. But she played it out. She put on her charm and lowered his guard and made it to where she got him arrested. And he died in jail. Yo, that was a story of her life. And her life hasn't even begun yet. Like, yo, you can't. Dang. 14, yo, she thought this through for real.
Street in Cleveland, Ohio. In 1913, the first Hungarian Baptist church was built on that street, eventually falling into disuse and being left abandoned like the rest of the buildings on that street. In April 2016, the body of a woman named Jessica Coleman was found there after she went missing, but unfortunately her attacker was never found. In July 2023, Chris Hill went to the location to record footage of the abandoned church, as well as the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue. From disturbing graffiti to broken glass and peeling walls, the church checks every box you would expect from a creepy, abandoned building. As he ventures into the basement, Chris finds signs that someone else had been inside the church, including an action figure of Melvin the giraffe from Madagascar that he mentions he doesn't remember seeing the last time he visited the location. Knowing that he's often not alone during his explorations, Chris set up several cameras throughout the church, and about 10 minutes into the exploration, one of the cameras on the main floor captures something pretty creepy.
Okay.
That's weird.
Ooh, okay.
It's upstairs.
Obviously, doors don't just randomly shut themselves, and as it wasn't particularly windy that night, it's clear that someone was in the church with Chris. But after looking around for a bit, he can't find anyone in the church and decides to head back outside to explore the rest of the buildings on Holton Avenue. If the church was in a messed up state, some of the houses are even worse, with most of them looking like they could collapse at any second. Around half an hour into the visit, he decides to explore one of the most dilapidated houses on the block, and as he's in the basement, the exploration takes a scary turn.
It actually looks like it's just underneath the house. It's not really a basement. Still creepy.
What? What? What is it? You can't really sneak around. You can hear something walking. So. Oh!
Sorry.
Yep, my bad. My bad.
Nobody lived there.
Right? Oh boy.
It smelled like I knew somebody was in there.
As he's exploring the basement, a sound can be heard coming from the ground floor, and when he goes back up to find out what it is, a person pulls back the curtain. Immediately apologizing, Chris runs back out to the street, and that's when he realizes that despite the horrible state of the supposedly abandoned house, there was actually someone living in there with electricity. Clearly most, if not all of the abandoned buildings on the block were housing people now who didn't want him there, something he never encountered on his first visit. And with this newfound discovery, Chris called it a night.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go back and investigate
In
that.
February 2020, urban explorer Ridham Ryder explored an abandoned house at an undisclosed location with his exploration partner Zay Clark. According to Ridham, the house used to belong to an old woman who had passed away.
I'm surprised he didn't chase
In complete
him.
contrast to most abandoned houses, most of the woman's possessions had been left untouched, indicating that the house had not yet fallen prey to looters and squatters who often take things that aren't theirs. All throughout the house, the two explorers find everything from beautiful tableware and silverware to ornately woven tapestries and a fully equipped bar.
Luxury.
Based on the calendars they found in the house, the property hadn't been occupied since August 2018. Just a few minutes into the visit, Ridham and Zay find something incredibly sad and disturbing.
I wasn't worried about something like this happening, and then it did. When we walked in here, we took a few steps in the door, and we saw this on the ground.
What the?
Now, for those who can't figure that, figure out what that is a body stain. And you can see right there, there's a walker. So, unfortunately, it seems that the woman who had lived here had taken a bad fall, landed on the floor, and that's where she expired, unfortunately. It's extremely, extremely sad to us. It took us a good 20 minutes to decide what we're going to do here, and despite it feeling weird, we figured we still need to tell the story because this is a good reminder to everybody that you need to check on your loved ones. It seemed this woman had passed and was laying here for God knows how long before she was found, so check in on your loved ones, guys.
Right in the middle of the hallway, a human body stain can be seen on the floor next to a walker, indicating that the old woman probably had a bad fall and couldn't get up. Sadly, she passed away and her body decomposed before anyone could save her, which is a terrifying way to die. There appear to be signs that the woman's family members tried to sort through her things after she passed away, but overall her various belongings are in perfectly good shape, including her bathroom supplies, which were still there at the time of the recording. It's hard to watch the footage without having conflicting feelings. Even though the house is beautiful and you can easily tell that the woman who lived there with her husband was a talented, outgoing person, it's incredibly sad to see how she met her end. Overall, the footage should serve as a reminder to check in on your loved ones every time you get the chance, because nobody deserves to pass away like that. Since 2020, Ridham with Ryder hasn't gone back to that location.
Yo, that's legit rough, man. That's for real rough. I'm what is that? Like, that's a whole body stain. So it's like she fell there, couldn't get back up, and guessing she was living there by herself and all that, and just dang. hey, folks, I'll tell you this right here and now. It's like, you move out of your parents' house, right? If it's for if you hate your parents, then I can understand. I can understand why. But if you love your parents though, and you move out, and trying to move on with your life and all that, I'll be like this. Like, you could like let them move like next door. Like if you get a house and there's a free house right there, like, hey, y'all can move to the same neighborhood, be living right next door and everything, like a next door neighbor. So like just in case something goes bad, could just knock on the door. Hey, mom, are you good? Boom, I hear her. No, she's not good. I'm in, and I help mom get off the floor, just like that, man. God knows how long she's been there. I don't even know how long a body can decompose, though. I don't know how long a body can decompose to make it's a whole body stain, but man. That's terrible. But gonna jump into the 7 scariest videos caught in abandoned buildings. Is it? I mean, what's disturbing ones? Nah. Nah. Gonna jump into this one. 3 scary, true Christmas horror stories. Gonna jump into that one, y'all. All right.
When I was newly single after my 2-year relationship ended, I was back to living alone again, and back to swiping on Tinder and all those apps. I had been single for a few months already, and I had met a few people in that time. During that time, I matched a girl on Tinder named Tracy, and she gave me her Snapchat, but it quickly fizzled out to her just watching my stories and not really communicating. That kinda used to happen all the time when I was in college. But now being in my late 20s using Tinder and just being reminded of how immature all this online dating stuff is, it feels a lot different at this age. I own a corner townhome in a little community. If you're wondering what I do, I'm an accountant. Good money, but miserably boring. After my ex moved out, I thought I would be ready for the privacy and peace and quiet. But I'd say after the first month, the novelty of that wore off. Maybe I'm more of a relationship person, or I just need people around. But being alone was getting to me. That's why I was constantly swiping on dating apps and trying to go on dates, just to get out of the house. This was last December. I posted something on my Snap story that had to do with Christmas, and guess who commented on my story? It was that Tracy girl who I hadn't spoken to in weeks. She struck up a conversation about us doing some Christmas-themed stuff together, and from there we started chatting for a bit. I suggested the most festive things I could think of. Ice skating, going to the village, and looking at the decorations, but she suggested we decorate my Christmas tree. Firstly, I did have a fake tree, but it was up in the attic, so I told her I didn't have it up yet because it's kind of a 2-person job getting it out of the attic. She said she'd gladly come over and help, so I figured why not. I told her to come over around 9 that night. It was already dark at that point when we made the plan. It was likely like 7:30 because I remember hurriedly grabbing my keys and rushing to drive to the liquor store to buy a couple bottles of wine. When I got back to the house, I vacuumed and swept the floors. Ever since my breakup, the things my girlfriend would do to clean the place were left to me, and I realized how quickly a place can get dirty. 9 p.m. rolled around, and I was low-key sitting upright on the couch with the TV on, pretending like I was just chilling in the living room watching a movie already. Meanwhile, I had set everything up to be cozy and relaxing, but I sat there for a while, waiting on her to message me or for the doorbell. I sent a follow-up saying, "Let me know when you're on your way," and I eventually started to think she was flaking, until finally, around 9:30, when she said she's outside. She came inside, and I was shocked to find that I was looking up at her. She was a couple inches taller than me. I'm 5'10", so she had to be at least 6 feet tall. I also immediately picked up on the fact that she smelled like she was drenched in perfume. We went straight to the couch and sat down, and she sat really, really close to me, like our legs were touching. This is where I started to get confused in how exactly I was feeling.
Confused?
She looked a bit older,
Why confused?
maybe a little rougher. I'm not sure how to explain it.
Oh, she
underneath
aggressive.
that overpowering smell of cheap-smelling perfume, I couldn't help but feel like there was a slight hint of body odor, which completely turned me off. I asked her if she wanted wine, and she said yes, please.
Whew.
So I went and poured a couple glasses as we talked.
Like
Have you ever met someone for the first time that you've been texting or DMing for a while, and when you finally meet, they just end up being nothing like you pictured in your head? That was pretty much this. Something about her felt off, like she lacked certain social cues. I handed her a glass of Merlot, and we cheers each other. I shit you not, she almost immediately spilled a huge drop of red wine on my light blue couch. I composed myself, but I wanted to scream. I said it's okay, as I ran to the kitchen to get a damp paper towel and sponge. I ran back to the couch and blotted it as quickly as I could before it would settle. She kept apologizing, and I kept saying it was okay. After this, it got a little more tense, and to break the tension, I suggested I get the tree out of the attic. So I went up to the attic, slid over the giant box with all the tree parts in it, and started handing her down the pieces one by one, each piece getting bigger until we got to the biggest part, the part that I wouldn't be able to handle going down the ladder on my own. She grabbed it with ease. I had to remember this girl's size. Once everything was handed down, I went back down and we assembled the tree in the living room with Christmas music playing. I poured her more wine and I drank more myself. I loosened up a bit more. Wine makes any situation feel better. Once we had the tree set up, next was the ornaments. I told her my ornaments were all in the crawl space. These ornaments were all from my childhood. My parents gave me bins and bins of Christmas decorations. So I went down to the crawl space and one by one started taking out the bins, while I left Tracy in the living room to relax. As I was doing all of this, I started feeling woozy, like the wine was getting to my head. I've never been a heavy drinker, so I do have a low tolerance, but I felt like I hadn't drank that much to feel this way. I grabbed the first bin and started lugging it up the stairs. By the time I got to the top, Tracy wasn't anywhere in sight. I assumed she was in the bathroom at first and called her name. I looked around each room and then saw that the bathroom was empty. I scratched my head in confusion as I kept calling her name. I went to message her on Snap, but she never opened the Snap. I checked the 2 bedrooms too, but she was gone. I couldn't believe this. She snuck out on me. This was when I started wondering if she thought I was ugly or weird or something, even though truthfully, I wasn't even really into her either. I crashed onto the couch, which suddenly felt a lot more comfortable than before.
How you doing?
And honestly, as far as I remember, I periodically checked my phone to see if she opened my Snap and just watched whatever was on TV, until my memory just faded to black. I swear, everything just went black. And then, I woke up in darkness. No lights, no TV on. I looked around in the dark room, and I knew I was hearing things. I felt like I was still on the couch, and I felt weak. My limbs were hard to move, but I managed to find my phone right under me within seconds, and I checked the time. The second the phone screen lit up, I saw it. Even though the light was facing toward me, that glow from my phone screen with the brightness all the way up revealed the outline of a tall person's silhouette standing in front of me.
What?
For some reason, I didn't scream. I just put the phone down, bringing the room back to darkness. I finally opened my mouth to say, Tracy, hoping it was her, but still not in that moment remembering what had happened earlier. Whoever was standing there didn't answer me. I eventually picked my phone back up and turned on the flashlight, and I saw that it was in fact Tracy standing in front of me. She wasn't moving. She was just looking down at me. I felt locked to the couch. I don't know if it was because of pure fear or the effects of whatever she had obviously laced me with. I genuinely was having a hard time moving my limbs. I felt weak and helpless.
Like a sleep paralysis
All I could manage
demon,
to say was Tracy a couple more times. She turned towards the stairs, and again, I swear, she sprinted toward them, and all I heard were the disturbingly loud stomps of her running down the stairs. I heard something slam from downstairs. Looking back, I'd imagine it was the front door. Everything looked and sounded so wonky in those minutes after I woke up. Each passing minute, I felt more and more clear-headed, and moving became easier. I checked Snapchat to see that her account was gone, aka she blocked me.
Wow.
I looked out the front window and saw no cars outside besides my own and the neighbors. And then I realized I never saw the vehicle that she arrived in, or if she even arrived in one. I checked my entire home from top to bottom, checking for anything that could have been stolen. The only items I found missing seemed kind of bizarre at first, but honestly made so much sense soon after. Every last bottle of pills from my house was gone. All my vitamins and supplements, my bottles of Adderall, and even the bottle of Oxy that I had prescribed but never fully used after a surgery. Those were in the drawer next to my bed. I noticed a bottle of vodka was taken from my mini fridge in my room too. But other than that, I didn't see anything else that could have been stolen. Still, I called the police right then and reported the robbery. I gave the Snapchat username and explained that I never got her number or knew anything really about her identity minus the name that she gave me, which was Tracy Gibson. The police knocked on my neighbor's door since all of our homes are attached, even though it was like 1 a.m. With me standing next to them, they questioned if he'd seen or heard anything strange, to which he said no, he'd been asleep. After about 20 minutes, the police left. I made sure all of my keys were still in place so as to make sure she couldn't get back in. But other than that, this Tracy person disappeared without a trace.
So Tracy was a crackhead.
I knew her behavior was quirky and wonky from the first few minutes of meeting her. It makes so much sense now.
Drop his guard.
I won't even call it a theory because I just know this is the truth. I think that girl, or woman I should say, was older than she claimed, and she was potentially homeless with a serious drug addiction. I think she drowned herself in perfume to mask the body odor that was honestly still showing through.
She probably smelled like a damn
my
fish.
wine with something when I was in the attic, clearly. I don't know exactly how long I was out, but it was enough for her to scour my entire home for any and all drugs and supplements. I still remember how disturbing of an image it was seeing her tall silhouette standing in front of me while I was just waking up on the couch. Honestly, after this, I didn't even decorate the tree that year.
Like, the Christmas spirit was gone. So she was a drug addict, and she pretty much stole. She could have killed him. Like, let's throw that out there. She could have, bro. She caught. How y'all say she Bill Cosby'd him? She drugged him, and stole his meds. She could have killed him right then and there. She could have took all, like literally anything. You would think money be the first thing, right? Money, jewelries, right? Because that's what most thieves steal, right? But she took pills, like 98% pills, all his medications, okay? And she drowned herself in perfume. She didn't, spray and all this and that. She just, chuck here, chuck there to cover the smell. Smelling like a zombie. Sure, I don't smell anything. You smell gorgeous. She was a drug addict. She was a crackhead. There you go.
This happened on Christmas Eve back in '97 when I was 7 years old. Since we're Jewish, we don't celebrate Christmas, so Christmas Eve was just like any other night for us. Our dad is a doctor, and since he's Jewish, he always works on call at the hospital during the Christmas holidays, so he wasn't home tonight. That just left my little sister and I by ourselves for the evening while our dad worked.
All right, Spaceman.
Technically, our mom was home, but to be blunt, she was an alcoholic. Back then, being a 7-year-old, I had no idea what alcoholism was. All I knew was that my mom was always passed out once it got dark and near impossible to wake up. Sorry if it sounds harsh or TMI, but it's relevant to my story. My sister and I were downstairs watching TV when we heard a knock at the door. Being the oldest, I went to see who it was. Our door had glass panes built into it, which made it easy to see who was on the other side. There was a man standing outside in a Santa suit holding a bag, and when he saw me, he smiled and waved at me to come to the door. I went near the door but did not open it, and I thought it was odd that someone dressed like Santa would come to our house out of anyone's house in the neighborhood.
That's not Santa.
He said, "Hey kid, it's me, Santa.
No, that's not
I'll
Santa.
give you your presents."
No.
I remember point blank telling him that Santa isn't real, and that if he was, he doesn't give Jews presents anyway. That's when he said, "Of course I'm real." In the past, I only used to visit Christian homes, but lately, I felt bad that Jewish kids never get any presents. So this year, I changed the rules so that you can get presents too. But I didn't buy it, and instead, I remember getting mad at him, arguing that Jews get presents. We just get them during Hanukkah and not on Christmas. The smile fell from his face, and all his jolly charm disappeared as he began demanding I open the door. I told my sister to dial 911, and the guy seemed to run away. We did call the cops. However, unfortunately, the operator didn't understand what we were saying.
Yeah,
looking back, I think she may have thought we were just little kids excited that Santa Claus was coming to our house. Regardless, she didn't take us seriously, and instead just told us that this number was to be used for emergencies only before
I hate that so much. I can understand. Okay, it's Christmas, and you know they're probably thinking, oh, this is a prank call. That, hey, 911, we got an emergency. What's your emergency? Santa Claus is trying to rob us. If you fucking brats don't go to sleep, like, this is emergencies only. No, seriously, Santa is at my front door and he wants me to open the door, and he don't look like Santa either. He looked deranged. His eye is twitching and everything. This ain't no joke, lady. You gotta send the fucking cops. We about to get kidnapped by Santa.
Connecting the call. My sister and I now got really scared because we didn't know who else to call. Since we were only 4 and 7, the only numbers we knew how to dial were our home number and 911. And since this is the 90s, my dad didn't have a cell phone yet, and I had no idea what the hospital number was to reach him there. And with our mom impossible for us to wake up, we were essentially on our own. We hoped the man wouldn't come back, but a few minutes later, he was knocking on the door again.
Again?
He said he knew the cops weren't coming and to go ahead and let him in or we'd be in big trouble. My sister started crying and ran upstairs trying to wake my mom. Not knowing what else to do, I did the one thing that made sense to my 7-year-old brain.
Okay.
I grabbed a bunch of candles we keep for our menorah and lit them all, then ran below where the smoke detector was. I blew out all the candles quickly before tossing them all up to the smoke detector. Thankfully, they gave off enough smoke to set off the smoke alarm. As an adult, I realized how stupid this was, and fortunately, I did not accidentally set the house on fire. But at that time, all I knew was that the smoke alarm would instantly call 911 for me and send help to our home.
Okay.
There was a fire department not even 2 minutes from our house, so they got here pretty fast. My sister came downstairs, scared of the fire alarm, but I told her there was no fire and to not go outside, but instead wait inside with me. To my amazement, the guy still did not leave. Instead, the bastard ran to the firefighters, presumably telling them that he was glad they showed up. I remember that he claimed he was my dad, and that he dressed up like Santa Claus for Christmas Eve to surprise us.
Wow,
he explained that his suit didn't have any pockets to hold his keys, and that with the door locked, he couldn't get the door open to save us from the fire. So he begged the firefighters to break down the door. And surprisingly, the firefighters seemed to believe him. They were actually getting ready to break down the door and told us to stand back. But we started crying, shouting at them that he's not our dad, that our dad is working at the hospital and that we have no idea who this guy was, and that we don't even celebrate Christmas. The firefighter who was about to break down the door thankfully stopped and listened to us. He asked, "You don't celebrate Christmas?" I told him no because we're Jewish, and showed him my kippah on my head as well as our menorah. I then broke down crying, explaining how I set off the smoke alarm to try and get help because the police wouldn't believe us, and to please not let the guy in. The firefighter thankfully believed me, and then asked the guy why Santa would show up to a Jewish home.
Yeah, right?
I don't remember exactly what the guy said, but the firefighters clearly didn't believe him. 2 of them wrestled the guy to the ground while the other called the police to come by. They also asked what hospital my dad worked at so they could let him know what was going on. The police arrived and arrested the guy, while another officer stayed with us until my dad came home and explained the situation to him. My dad was furious with our mom for being wasted and essentially sleeping through the whole thing, but mostly he was grateful that we were okay.
I smell a divorce
coming. As far as Christmases
coming.
go, I was glad to have our usual boring and quiet Christmas the following year. To this day, I think being Jewish saved my sister and I's lives, because had we opened that door to let Santa in, there's a good chance that would have been our final Christmas.
Wow. That was actually a good story, to be honest. Now, I don't know. Oh, I know why the light is making me look like I'm in a bright room and everything. Yeah, the sun. But no, I want to talk about that story, though. So, that was actually a good story. The brother was like the MVP in this because the sister trying to wake mom up, but Mom was wasted, so I can already tell a divorce was coming pretty doggone soon for that. Because imagine the dad come home and find out that, you know, probably the mother died, the kids probably got taken away and everything, and dad don't even know what happened. But probably, maybe he had it on camera, probably not. But still, it just would have been bad. It would have been bad. But the fact that I'm Jewish and we don't celebrate Christmas, so why is Santa coming to our doors? Like, come on, now if you would have done your history, Santa doesn't deliver presents to the Jews. You know that, right? So why are you coming to our crib dressed up as Santa Claus? Come on now. Dang. Luckily the firefighters showed up and believed the kid story. That Jewish Santa thing, everybody knows that. Like, you two are rivals. Y'all don't get along. So why are you, Santa, going to a Jewish house? Now, I can understand you going to a house that believes in Santa Claus. Okay, yeah, that would have been a lot more. They would have believed Santa Claus over the kid. But, dang. Bravo. Bravo.
It was December 2022. My girlfriend Charlotte and I were driving to the Pocono Mountains. We had rented a super cozy looking Airbnb decked out with Christmas decorations, and it was nicely located with a nice view, big property, and not far from a cute little village. To make things even more festive feeling, there was a snowstorm coming that night, so we set out on the road a little earlier to allow us time to get groceries and everything set up in the Airbnb. From the city to the Poconos was about 4 hours. We made decent time. We stopped at a Family Dollar for some snacks and groceries, and then we went straight to the Airbnb. We turned towards the uphill gravel road through a clearing in the trees that led to the property. The house was surrounded by woods. It had a big deck with a hot tub on it, which was very appealing, especially the idea of sitting in it during a snowstorm. There were a bunch of Christmas decorations on the property, including some light-up reindeer, a big snowman, and big decorative candy canes lining the walkway to the front deck. We had to take a few trips to and from the car to bring everything inside. First impression, the place had a very comfy feeling as we expected from the pictures. It had a Christmas tree in one corner, stockings hung on the walls, and a bunch of smaller decorations scattered about. It had that very welcoming smell of wood that you'd expect in a country log cabin, though it was more so just a regular house. Then I realized why. There was a stack of logs next to a big fireplace in the living room. There were 3 bedrooms, though of course we only needed 1. We put our luggage and such in a second bedroom. I did the usual stuff like inspect the fridge, turn on the TV to see if there's cable or Netflix, and look out all the windows.
Alright.
There was an upstairs, but it was more of a loft with a pool table and a couple of couches. Then there was a basement. For the hell of it, I went down to check out the basement. It was fairly big relative to the size of the house. It felt disconnected from the Airbnb though. It wasn't furnished for hanging out in. It was dark and cold and felt more like a space to do laundry and a workspace. Then there was a knock at the front door. I hurried up to answer it, and there was a guy who looked to be in his late 40s. He was wearing gray sweatpants and a ripped up yellowish brown jacket. He smiled at me and said, "How are you folks doing?" I replied good and asked him if he was the Airbnb host. He replied he runs the place with his brother. I asked for his name, and he said Tom. Tom said he lives just up the road next door if my girl and I need anything. I thanked him, and then he walked away. I found it interesting that he knew I was with my girlfriend. Charlotte didn't come to the door, but maybe his brother told him about us. I did have a conversation with Mike, the host, about it being my girlfriend and I wanting to do something festive. It was pitch black out and it was snowing. We cranked up the heat in the house and started preparing the dinner we bought, which was chicken thighs, broccoli, potatoes, and cornbread. It was pretty grab bag. We ate on the couch with the Christmas tree lights on in the corner, giving the room a nice comfy glow as we watched the Polar Express. It was the only good Christmas movie on any of the streaming platforms. If you can't tell, we really love Christmas. After the movie, and when we felt we had digested enough, we went outside to the deck to hop in the hot tub. I turned on all the decorations and Christmas lights in the front yard, and as we sat in the hot tub watching the snowfall, it felt like bliss. Until the bubbles on the hot tub stopped, and it went silent. We heard unmistakable footsteps from somewhere on the property. Charlotte and I looked at one another. I asked her if I should shout who's there, but she said no. The footsteps moved further and further until they were no longer audible. I told Charlotte it was probably a deer, but deep down, I knew those were the footsteps of a person. After the hot tub, we went to take a shower before bed. The hot water in the shower didn't last for more than maybe 2 minutes, though. Something was wrong. When the water turned ice cold, we screamed and jumped out of the shower. I messaged Mike, the host, about it. He responded within half an hour saying that's odd and that he'll have a guy come and look at the hot water heater tomorrow. We went to sleep after our half shower. In the middle of the night, though, we awoke to very aggressive bangs on the front door of the house. Charlotte was shaking me, terrified. I said I'm gonna check who it is, but she demanded I stay in the bed and don't make a sound. Honestly, I was glad she said that. No part of me wanted to know who was at the door in the middle of the night. I think there were 3 sets of really loud and angry sounding bangs before they stopped. We sat upright for a few minutes in silence, whispering to each other. I went over to lock the bedroom door for added security, I guess. Minutes dragged along, but ultimately, after about half an hour of sitting wide awake, we eventually drifted back off to sleep. First thing in the morning, I messaged Mike again about the knocks at the door. He answered more quickly this time, seeming pretty confused like us. He basically said how strange that is. He didn't know why anyone would be roaming around late at night like that. He said if anything like that happens again, that we should alert the authorities.
Yeah.
Honestly, not the most reassuring response,
maybe we
but
should blow their
he was
freaking
right.
heads off, you know
what
what
else
I
could he
mean?
tell us? Grab a gun and shoot whoever was at the door? I didn't want to keep complaining to Mike constantly, but I mean, these were some valid concerns I was bringing up to him. There was a lot of snow outside, and it was a dark, cloudy day. There were still some flurries falling onto the ground. I went out to wipe the snow off my Jeep, and while I was doing so, I noticed footsteps in the snow. They looped around the house. I remembered the knocks from the night before, and wondered if it was from the same person. But these footprints looked fresh, and it snowed all night. Surely the footprints from last night would have filled in by now. I heard footsteps approaching now, actually, and I saw Tom walking from around my car. I told him about the hot water heater problem, and that Mike said they were sending someone to take a look at it. He said he knew and that he was here to take a look at it, actually. I also told him about the knocks at the door last night and the footprints in the snow. I even showed him. He looked at them and said there's a lot of strange folk out here that go snooping around at night. I asked if we should refrain from using the hot tub at night then, and he said no, that shouldn't be a problem. The people around here are harmless. He went inside into the house and walked around for a bit before walking down to the basement. He told me he'll have a look at the hot water heater. Tom seems like a weird dude, honestly. I messaged Mike saying Tom's here now checking out the water heater. Mike replied back asking, is Tom the name of the plumber? And I replied, no, your brother. He replied, what do you mean? He said he's my brother? It started to click in my head. I responded, do you have a brother named Tom who runs this Airbnb with you? And he replied, no, who is this person?
There it is.
I hurried to Charlotte and told her to collect her things quietly. We need to get out of here. As quickly as we could, we packed our bags, grabbed all of our stuff, and brought it outside to the car in one trip. I'm sure we left behind a charger or something small, but who cares?
Right, yeah, who cares?
I grabbed my car, and when I started it, I looked in the rearview mirror and saw Tom quickly approaching the rear of the Jeep. I put it in drive and drove out of there as quickly as I could. When we were back on the road, we called Mike and explained everything and told him he needs to call the police now. He didn't stay on the line with us for long, but 20 minutes later, he called us back. We were in the car still. He said the police were there now and didn't see anyone in the house.
Of course.
Mike was on his way to the house as well, but he was mostly calling to get more details from us. We drove around the area and explored just as a way to calm our nerves after what just happened. After a few hours, we drove home. Mike messaged me later that night updating me and apologizing for everything. He said he didn't know anyone who resembled my description of Tom. What disturbs me is that man was watching us the entire time, from the moment we arrived to when we were in the hot tub, and he was probably the one banging on the front door in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Who knows what his intentions were? It's a good thing we left when we did, though.
I mean, hey, you caught on to it.
Story 1. Public
Yellow? Alright then. Alright then. Okay. Chat. Alright. Chat. I would say that will probably wrap things up here. Now, I'm gonna wrap this up here. Alright. I'm gonna tomorrow, I'm gonna say this tomorrow, which is Christmas. I'm gonna tell you right here and now that for those of y'all that I don't know, let's say for right now, for those of y'all that probably have Hulu, if you have Hulu, I highly recommend that once I start streaming, I'm going to throw out the link and everything, and you're going to see it. I mean, I'm going to let you know before, I'm going to say this, I'm going to let y'all know before I start the video. But just know that the video is going to begin tomorrow, Christmas Day. I would say around like 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock tomorrow. If not 4 o'clock, it might be early. Because, the moment I probably wake up, I'm going to get started. So I'm not really good at scheduling the time. But no, it will come out tomorrow morning. So, chat. If you have Hulu, be prepared. If you don't have Hulu, then be prepared for when I bring Ed and Eddie Season 4 on YouTube. Okay? So, I would like this. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I mean, the doggone sun was just making me look extremely bright and everything. But, hey, there's some, disturbing, scary videos on Christmas Eve and all that. Hope y'all enjoy that. But I'm going to make this clear to y'all that doing shows and movies on the same day would be kind of like, it would be like I would be backed up on work, because after I get through streaming, I gotta download it and set it up to be put on YouTube later in the filter version to prevent copyright. But the uncut version, like I said, you're not gonna see that. You're not gonna see it on here. It's not happening. But other than that, no. I'm sure y'all, for those y'all that have, let's say, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and other stuff and everything, I'm sure y'all probably looking forward to it, to where I'm gonna be streaming watch-alongs. Now, for Thursday, I'm gonna do the Godzilla x Kong: A New Empire. Can't wait to do that one. So that one is also going to be on Hulu. So this is going to be a thing, okay? Be letting y'all know that I'm going to be streaming this show on this platform. Is it a platform? Yeah, they're streaming this show, movie on the platforms. So that way y'all be more prepared for when tomorrow shows up. But yeah, I'm going to just do it to where tomorrow I'm going to do a show. Then Thursday I'm going to do a movie. And, Friday I'm going to do a show. That's and Saturdays and Sundays I'm just going to be just straight up game time. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just game time. Alright? But, chat, I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope y'all have a good Christmas Eve, because tomorrow is Christmas. Merry belated Christmas, y'all. I'm of course going to say Merry Christmas tomorrow and everything. But this is Christmas week. So I hope y'all have a good day, okay? Hope y'all are having a swell day. Hope y'all are staying warm. And hopefully y'all don't be catching, the cold, flu, pneumonia, and all that. If you do, like I said, get Robitussin. It will help deal with the colds and flus for y'all. But, chat, Hope you have a good day. Hope y'all stay safe and happy holidays to y'all. But you already know. Peace. Yo. It's some of these like disturbing stories are pretty doggone good. Like it's like something to talk about.